views expressed on the following program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership.
Phoenix, Prescott, Casa Grande, Arizona. Brother Mike is back on the radio. Welcome to HardcoreChristianity.com. Today's Bible study. Christian minister Alice Cooper. Rolling. Hey, will you call somebody and tell them the radio program's on? Rock and roll today on Hardcore. This is Brother Mike. I'm the professional counselor at the Arizona Deliverance Center. We're on 15th Avenue, just south of Osborne Road in the heart of Maricopa County, Arizona. On the website, HardcoreChristianity.com, you can see all of our ministry services there. We have 2 services per week. They're live, 7 p.m. Thursday, 7 p.m. Friday. Preaching, teaching, healing, and deliverance. You can hit the PayPal button again on our website and send us another donation. And thank you so much for what you've done. The Healing House is done. And you paid for it. And we thank you so much. We'll be able to help impoverished people with a place for a temporary residence so they can get healed and delivered. And we're doing it thanks to you. Thank you so much. You can go to page 1 of the website and have Sister Karen sell your house for you. She is a realtor with honesty and integrity, which is a rare commodity in our society today. All the radio programs are always available on soundcloud.com/hardcore-christianity. Today's Bible study, Christian Alice Cooper. Can you believe it? Did you see this article in the paper recently? There was also one in the New Times. Check this out. Quote, Rock and Roll Hall of Famer Alice Cooper has warned that TV evangelism is one of Satan's greatest weapons and cautioned against treating the devil as if he's a joke or a myth. The 67-year-old, quote, poison, unquote, singer, born Vincent Damon Fernier. His name is Vincent Damon Fernier. Made his statements during an interview on the Harvest Show, an evangelical Christian program CNS News has reported. Quote, TV evangelism is one of Satan's greatest weapons. They put these guys on a pedestal and all of a sudden they get caught with a prostitute and every Christian I know then is under the gun, the singer said. So you don't think that's kind of a setup? Yeah, I'm telling you, the devil's very smart. Cooper warned. Quote, he's not going to come at you with horns and a tail. He's going to come in as the slickest car salesman you ever saw. I've seen some pretty slick pastors on TV, unquote. Cooper shot to fame during the rock and roll era and was dubbed the godfather of shock rock, thanks to his grotesque music shows, including guillotining himself, wearing frightening makeup, and axe-chopping bloodied baby dolls. Although raised in a Christian home with a father who was a preacher, Cooper lost his faith during his rock career, which reached its peak with his induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. However, the singer maintains that while he wasn't a Christian at the time, many of his songs, quote, have totally got all kinds of Christian bywords going all the way through it because it comes out at you, unquote. Quote, even when I wasn't a Christian, I was saying God and the devil, don't pick the devil because it's a bad idea, unquote. Folks, I'm not making this up. You can't make this stuff up. I'm not making this program up. But after embracing Christianity many years later, Cooper drastically changed his tune, beating his alcohol addiction and becoming a strong witness for Christ. Quote, so I always refer to myself as the real prodigal son because I went out and the Lord let me do everything, Cooper said. Maybe he didn't let me, but allowed it. And then just started reeling me back in. You know, you've seen enough. Let's bring you back to where you belong. Quote, when you get out there and realize you've had every car, every house, and all that, you realize that that's not the answer. There's a big nothing out there at the end of that, so materialism doesn't mean anything. A lot of people say there's a big God-sized hole in your heart. When that's filled, you're really satisfied, and that's where I am right now. Today, Cooper refers to himself as the prophet of doom. That's what he calls himself, the prophet of doom. He warns people of the reality of the devil and sin and hell. Quote, "Be careful," he said. "Satan is not a myth. Don't sit around pretending like Satan is just a joke. I think my job is to warn about Satan." As reported, Cooper now performs in a much tamer fashion and attends Camelback Bible Church in Paradise Valley, where he teaches Sunday school. Quote, "You should see the looks on people's faces. Alice Cooper teaching a Bible class? But he's the spawn of the devil," the rocker explained to The Sun, UK. Surely people get it by now. Alice is just a character. Alice hates going to church. But I go to church every Sunday, he says. He also works with troubled teens. In 2006, he opened a Solid Rock Teen Center, a $3 million Christian facility for young people struggling with addiction, gang activity, and abuse. Quote, "We believe a renewed sense of self-worth and purpose provides a meaningful foundation for the youth in local communities," unquote. Many teens today face a future without a solid foundation for broken promises and burdened hearts, unquote. Folks, I'm not making this stuff up. Can you see the incredible power of deception of demons? Here you've got Alice Cooper, who is massively infected with demons, who thinks he's actually a Christian and he isn't, who doesn't understand the first thing about the devil, yet goes around preaching about the devil and teaching Sunday school. I've done many radio programs over the year on warning my listeners about listening to celebrity Christians. That is a major red flag. If you know somebody who's a celebrity Christian, an actor, a musician, somebody, a sports figure, do not listen to them. Be careful, because they are probably not even born again. They're probably using religion as a crutch, and they're going to lead you to the devil. For example, here's some of Alice Cooper's current albums: Brutal Planet, Dragon Town, The Eyes of Alice Cooper, Dirty Diamonds, Along Came a Spider, and 2011's Welcome to My Nightmare, plus Old School 64 to 74, a box set celebrating the original band. In addition to his youth recreation center in Northeast Phoenix, Cooper also owns a sports bar in Central Phoenix. His new album is called Paranormal. His recent album, My New Nightmare. The other album, Raise Your Hand If You're Poison. He's now an avid golfer. He's addicted to golf now instead of drugs. Okay. Did you read the New York Times review on his recent concert at Ak-Chin Casino? Well, they did a review on it, and he's still doing the elaborate satanic program he's always done. All the songs are demonic and satanic. He disappears behind a giant pink jack-in-a-box. He changes his costumes there, and then a sexy nurse wearing virtually nothing comes out behind the box and menaces him with a big syringe. And then another occasion, he pulls out a fencing sword covered in money, and he fans the bills off the sword all over the place. In his Feed My Frankenstein song, he comes out with a bloody lab coat. You imagine that? He's in a cabinet, hiding in a cabinet, and it arcs electricity over the top of it. And then later, a giant Frankenstein comes out walking around the stage, about 15 foot tall. And then he does other songs with Cooper sitting on a trash can, and the spotlight comes down on him, and he starts to sing one of his favorites, "Only Women Bleed." While he's singing that song, a psycho ballerina with a wind-up key in her back emerges from behind the jack-in-the-box and starts dancing and twirling on stage. Cooper then picks up a knife and stabs the girl to death during the climax of the song. Then Cooper gets dragged to a guillotine as the song "I Love the Dead" starts up. He then gets decapitated, and Cooper's fake head rolls around on the stage. Folks, you can't make this stuff up. Let me explain to you who Alex Cooper really is. Matthew 7, "Not everyone that says to me, 'Lord, Lord,' shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but only he that does the will of my Father which is in heaven. Many will say to me in that day, 'Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in your name? Have we not cast out demons? Have we not done many wonderful works?'" That's the category Alice Cooper falls in. He's got a youth center. He tells people about the devil. He warns them about the devil, having no idea that he is actually a servant of Satan. Quote, "Then I will profess to them," Jesus said, "I never knew you. Depart from me, you that work iniquity." Iniquity is the theme of Alice Cooper's life. Drug addiction, satanic rock music, demonic masochistic sadism. Jesus said, quote, "Everyone that hears these sayings of mine and does them not is likened to a foolish man which built his house upon the sand. When the rains descended, the floods came, the winds blew, they beat upon the house, and it fell. And great was the fall of it." You want to know who Alice Cooper is, and you want to know about his future? Would you like to clearly hear it? I just read it to you. Hell is coming to breakfast at Alice Cooper's house, and he's not going to see it coming. You know why? His old friend Satan got him.
The views expressed on this program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership. This program was sponsored by Michael W. Smith.